Imagine a person who adopts a wild animal thinking it will protect the house. He feeds it, he trains it, he teaches it tricks, and he keeps it in the backyard. Then one day, after years of loyalty, the animal grows fangs. It gets tired of the leash and walks right into the living room. That person is now shocked that the animal is behaving like an animal. That sums up Pakistan's Afghanistan strategy. We are talking about Pakistan and the Taliban. For decades, they were the unlikely bedfellows, bound by strategy, survival, and a very complicated kind of friendship. But lately, the fissures are showing. And this week, they blew wide open. An airstrike hit Afghanistan's Khost province. 10 civilians were killed, 9 of them were children. A civilian home was also reduced to rubble. The Taliban did not waste a second. They pointed straight at Pakistan. Why? Because the strike came just one day after a suicide bombing in Pakistan. The Taliban said they would, and I'm quoting, they would respond appropriately. Pakistan, of course, denied any role. But one thing is quite clear. Those old bedfellows, they're starting to sleep with one eye open. Look at the statement from Khwaja Asif. He's the defense minister of Pakistan. He says Islamabad has no good hope left, that they're completely, and I'm quoting, writing off the Taliban.
One should hope for good and not write off another until limits are crossed. But now we are completely writing them off, and we do not expect anything good from them.
This was what Khwaja Asif said. To be honest, it sounds less like he sounds less like a defense minister and more like a jilted lover explaining why the relationship did not work out. Also, it's not just Khwaja Asif. Pakistan's army chief chimed in too. He said, and I quote, "Territorial integrity and protection of every Pakistani citizen is paramount." Strong words, grave tone, a lot of chest thumping, classic Pakistan military trope. Except the Taliban had just accused Pakistan of violating their territorial integrity. So Munir's statement sounded less like a warning and more like an attempt to rewrite the narrative. But that's the thing about foreign policy based on plausible deniability. Eventually, it's neither plausible nor deniable. Because here's the thing. Pakistan and the Afghan Taliban were more than neighbors, they were partners. Pakistan backed the Afghan Taliban in the 1990s. It was the first country to back the first Taliban regime. It hosted them during the US occupation. It lobbied for them internationally. And when Kabul fell in 2021, no one cheered louder than Islamabad. Pakistani officials were photographed embracing Taliban leaders. It was like their personal victory. It was all going well until it wasn't. The root of the problem is the TTP, the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. It is Pakistan's own Frankenstein. Islamabad hoped that they would stay on the other side of the Durand Line. That's the de facto border between Pakistan and Afghanistan, another painful British legacy, another disputed border, the Durand Line. Pakistan hoped that the TTP would remain on the Afghan side and it would never question its creators. But that fantasy collapsed fast. The TTP got a safe haven and Pakistan got a national security nightmare. Plus, the Taliban discovered something. They no longer need Pakistan's approval. Pakistan told them to curb the TTP. Kabul shrugged. Pakistan asked for cooperation. Kabul rolled its eyes. Pakistan threatened, lectured and pleaded. Kabul just ignored it. Soon the border flared. Talks collapsed. Mediation by Qatar and Turkey stalled. Trade was suspended and now there are airstrikes and counter threats. Pakistan's political class is trying to act tough. Asim Munir is drawing red lines. Khwaja Asif is proclaiming betrayal. Their information minister is blaming coordinated terror masterminded in Kabul.
It will be folly to trust Afghan Taliban. We have tried to remain civil with them, but they've not repaid how one should to the soil that's provided home to 2 of their generations.
Behind all this bluster is a painful truth. Pakistan no longer holds leverage over the Taliban, not militarily, not economically, not diplomatically. Pakistan can deny, deflect or dramatize, but the story writes itself. Islamabad is finally paying the price for the monsters it created, and this time, there are no more excuses left.
I wore the crown of a revolutionary. I promised to lift my nation. I claimed to fight imperialism. I became the very thing I warned against. I funded militias across continents. I feared my own shadow. Some called me the King of Kings. History calls me something else. The dictator. Who am I?